Okay, so welcome everybody. Thanks for joining another brief Teams talk that we do on Wednesdays after convocation. This week, I wanted to talk a little bit about a resource we have access to called HSTalks or Health Sciences Talks. It's kind of a newer resource. This was actually purchased by the Jerry Falwell Library, but we share resources with each other, so we all have access to it here at LUCOM as well. And like I always do, I try to show where you can find this. And this is one I think that could be really useful. And I'm hoping it'll get used a lot. So I've put it under databases on the LUCOM library page. I've put a link. As you all know, these are not all the resources we have, but I try to put ones that I think might get the most use here. And there's a link to the HSTalks directly there. Or if you're on the LibGuide, you can go to A to Z Medical Databases, and you'll find HSTalks right here. And either of those links will take you to the resource, and we have full access to the Biomedical Life Sciences collection. And it's really mostly what I want to do is just make everyone aware of this, because there's some tools, especially for faculty, that could be used if you wanted to embed things in lectures. There's also features that let you claim CME credit from attending some of these lectures, and there's different ways you can search it. So the first thing I'm going to show is you see you've got you can search for topics here. So if I were to search for, like, I don't know, statin drugs, it's going to pull up all the talks that might have anything to do with statin drugs, drug-induced liver injury, familial hypercholesterolemia. Did I say that right? So any of the lectures that are included here, and you'll see that's got timestamps. You can get more details or save them to watch later. A lot of these are anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour. So you can find things that way. You can find talks that are parts of series, because as you look at this resource, you'll see there's collections of featured talks. And then there's series where there's a whole series of lectures that you can go through. But you can also use this browse button where it says subject areas. And I can look for any of my basic sciences, life sciences, biochemistry, cancer, cell biology, metabolism and nutrition for our GI Nutri course. I could see our pharmaceutical sciences, for our neuro course. There's all these lectures available in all these different categories. But what's kind of cool is for, like, the clinical side, up here next to categories, if you see it says therapeutic areas, we can actually look through specialties, and we can look through the cardiovascular specialty, or hematology or dermatology, gastroenterology, nephrology. And so we'll find talks that are available, lectures that are available for these topics as well. So there's a ton of these things available. So you'll see it kind of groups them together with categories and therapeutic subject areas down here, our featured talks right here. And what's kind of cool is all of these lectures are given by content experts. And if you ever have any questions about who these people are that are giving these lectures, you can click on this drop-down thing under leading experts, and you'll see it's got a handful of prominent ones right here. But you can, under category, I can say, well, who are the experts on cancer or oncology? We can see all of these professors, where they are, where they teach, where they practice, and where they're from. So these aren't just anonymous people claiming to be topical experts. And we can find you have different ones for each one of these categories. Some of them it says Nobel laureates. I'm not sure which ones, but these are very well-credentialed people giving these lectures. There's a brief tutorial video you can watch if you just want to see. It's kind of just showing you kind of what I'm showing you now about how to get around. But so as I said, you can search here for your topic. You can browse by subject area, whether it's a specialty or a biological life science area. You can view bios of the experts. If we go down, here we go. We can examine series. If I click on view all series, there's different, instead of like individual lectures, there's like series of lectures on clinical practice, series of lectures on immunology. And what's really cool is you can see this up here. It says RM, because I've actually have an account. I'm signed in. You have access to it for free as part of Liberty University, but you can create a free account for this resource, just like you can for a lot of our other resources. And you can save things to my library or watch later if you don't have time to watch them now. Something that they offer that I know is really popular with medical students is playback speed is changeable on some of these lectures. So if you want to watch a lecture at 1.5 speed, you can increase the speed of the playback. So if I click on this, you can see 1x. I can increase or decrease the playback speed I know I've learned this since I've been at LUCOM. Medical students will watch lecture recordings like double speed sometimes. I'm not
Hey,
sure.
Rob, that's why I want to do a lecture where I talk real slow and then I talk real fast and I go back and forth and totally mess them up.
That's a good idea. So, but I thought that would be interesting to students. All of these lectures have navigable slide indexes. So for their PowerPoints, just like you guys, faculty give PowerPoints to your students, there's PowerPoint slides here that we can actually click on and go direct. If there's a section of a lecture I want to go directly to, the microbiome is dynamic. I can click on that and it's going to take me to that timestamp for where that part of the lecture starts. If you're a faculty member and you want to use some of this in your lecture, this button says embed in course or own notes, and it pulls it up and you can actually choose the thumbnail size. You can choose the start and end timestamp for what you want to embed, and you can embed it as a link, or I can embed it the actual video into your PowerPoint slide. You can choose what size you want it to be. You can make it autoplay when you get to that slide, all that stuff. So it's kind of cool. If there's something in here you could use for your lecture, you could put it directly into your PowerPoint. And it's already kind of making attribution and saying it's from HSTalks. You can get citations over here for each talk if you want to use this in something you're writing. I don't know if if you write an article manuscript or something and you cite a lecture that you saw on HSTalks, you can grab the citation here. There's links for related information categories, cancer, microbiology, therapeutic areas of oncology, and some external links. So those are some ways that faculty members can actually use this stuff in your lectures. Now, you can also, this is really cool especially for faculty members, you can get CME by watching these lectures. And if you click on it, if you're watching a lecture, and you'll see a little button here that says, well, you'll see review, you can review it, you can share it, you can add it to your favorites. But this accreditation button, if I click on that, so this one offers CPD. I wasn't familiar with what this was, so I had to look up. CPD apparently is continuing professional development credit. I wasn't familiar with that, but for some lectures, that's the credit that it offers, or you can get a certificate for watching that lecture. But some lectures, and I'm going to take a guess here. I didn't test this before, but if I go to therapeutic access and say I'm looking through, say, oncology, and I find cancer epigenetics and accreditation. That one does, okay, it's contextual. They don't all offer the same thing, but some of these lectures offer CME credit that you can claim. You have to create an account. It'll be associated with your account. If you've done this with other accounts, it might be familiar to you. Like if you use UpToDate and you have an account, a personal account associated with Liberty for UpToDate, as you're looking up information on UpToDate, you can actually claim CME credit through the UpToDate app. It's kind of the same thing here. It's just that it depends on what lecture it is for what kind of continuing education credit it offers. It's either going to be that CPD with the continual professional development, but some of them do offer continuing medical education credits. For these lectures, there's printable handouts, which is pretty cool. So I can a PDF kind of like have notes. So if I want to actually have the lecture, I used to do this when I was an undergrad and have the slides in front of me. You can actually just jot down notes for each slide. You can do that. Trying to think of related links. I already mentioned that. That's kind of most of what I wanted to show you. There's a ton of stuff here. Like I said, if you go back to subjects, everything, biochemistry we use, cell biology, some of the basic sciences, methods for research, metabolism and nutrition could be used for GI Nutri. I know we use pharmaceutical science stuff, neuro, microbiology, all this stuff, maybe not plant and animal sciences, but reproduction and development I know we could use. Dr. Hemrick, physiology and anatomy lectures. There's a ton of stuff here. And in all of it you can embed into your course content. And for faculty, you can also claim that continuing education credit from them as well. And I just would encourage people to at least take a look at it and see if it's something they could use, because it's a really great resource that we're fortunate to have access to. And we didn't actually purchase this ourselves. The Jerry Falwell Library purchased access to this.
Hey, so, Rob.
Yes, sir.
When you were on there, I pulled up microbiome. And they actually have one of them in there is the microbiome therapies to treat gastrointestinal diseases. So I'm going to look at that because Michael Price and I do a lecture similar to that. And we may be able to add some new content from that
Okay.
into the lectures. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff here, and yeah. So and there's some of those series that are telling you under microbiology. These are series just within the microbiology set of lectures, but there's just a really wealth of information available here, and I highly encourage everybody to make use of it because it's a great resource. So that's all I really had for today. I appreciate your time, and as always, this is recorded, so I'll put it up on the LibGuide if anybody wanted to go back later and watch it. It'll be available.
Thanks, Rob.
Absolutely.
Have a great day, buddy.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.